Hello internet, it's Suli again. Today we're going to be going over books in my library that are new. So I'm really just going to be showing you new books that I got within the last, I think 2 months, 3 months, just to kind of show you guys what I'm going to be reading, in the coming videos next year in 2026. I'm sure I will do this again, but for now, let's talk about books. Buckle up, guys. We have 20 plus books here. 20 plus. First up, I will go over gifts. And I'm going to be using this as a personal announcement. Public announcement to thank my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. They always get me gifts and books, and I'm just so thankful. So honestly, this book haul is not even making a dent on the books that they've gotten me in the past, and just in general, they are the sweetest people ever, and they're always thinking about me when they're out like thrifting or antiquing, and so I'm just very thankful for them. If you guys are watching my sister-in-law, mother-in-law, and I do not bring up a book that you guys have gotten me, I apologize. I was looking at that bookshelf and I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something, and I probably am, so I apologize for that in advance. First is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. This one was my sister-in-law. She got it for me recently. I was so excited to get it. She's so sweet. She literally asked me for my want to read list in case she sees any books out when she's thrifting, and like, can you see how blessed I am? I know you can. I am very blessed. Thank you, Lord. So Tress of the Emerald Sea was on that list, so I got it recently. Really excited to read this. This would honestly be... So this book, once I read it, would actually be my first Brandon Sanderson. So let me know what you guys think, if you guys have read Brandon Sanderson, and if this is a good first book. I know this is a standalone, which I'm really excited about, and I think that would make his introduction to me a lot more easier. If you guys didn't know, Brandon Sanderson is an epic fantasy author and has written lots of series, I think like 10 plus books in the same universe or something like that, and it's kind of intimidating. However, I love fantasy. I love complex political fantasy systems. I really do, because I'm a history nerd, so I really like to see that in a fiction. But so guys, let me know if this is a good one to start off with. I hope it is. I heard that he wrote this book for his wife, so I thought that was so cute, and it really got my attention. So, but I also heard people say that it disappointed them in some parts, so yeah. Next one is Lovely War by Julie Berry. Julie Sully. Every time I introduce myself to people and they don't know how to say my name right away, they usually try and say it back to me, and they usually say something like Sully. And I'm like, it's like Julie, but with the S. So I always say her name on the daily. Anyways, this was a gift by my husband, and I'm counting it as a gift, even though all of those would probably be considered gift because my husband is the only income for this family. So, but we're not counting it that way. It's about the heart. And I'm counting this as a gift because I was having a really, really hard Mother Day with not just my daughter, I was having a really bad day, and my husband came home and he's like, you don't have to cook dinner. Let's go out, get food, and let's go to Barnes & Noble. I know, you can see how blessed I am. And I picked this one up while we were there. So, and that happened a few weeks ago, or a month now. But I still think about it. He's so sweet. He's so sweet to me. Yeah, so I picked up Lovely War. I heard great things about this one too. I mean, you guys have probably heard of it being on BookTube. You probably have heard of this book. So yeah, I thought
fantasy, historical fiction, YA, sign me up.
I did hear that it is going over Greek gods, I think it is. Greek or Roman, I forget which one. One of the two. Which I'm fine with. People ask me as a Christian, do you feel comfortable reading that? And it's like, I believe Jesus is the one true God, so I believe all the other ones are fantasy anyways. And if I read fantasy, then anyways, I feel like that's a topic for another video. Next one is 1984 by George Orwell. Orwell? Yeah, I feel like I always say that wrong. George Orwell. This was actually a gift from my best friend Priscilla. She just started YouTube as well. We did it kind of together. Put a link to her YouTube in the description. She got me, I'll also put in a picture. She got me the cutest like fall basket. So this was the copy I had before. It's a Signet classic. Not my favorite. It's a good size to take when you're wanting to read books on the go, but I prefer hardcover, depending on the book. But so she got me a hardcover of 1884, and I love books that have quotes on them, and this one has a quote in the back and it says, "Big Brother is watching you." Love her, love this book. So sweet of her, honestly. And then here is another gift. This one was by my mother-in-law. I think it was technically for my daughter, but when she found out that I hadn't read this series, she told me that I should read it. And it's the Boxcar Children set. Let's see, yeah. Mystery children's series. She had asked me if I read it and I said no, and she said, "You're gonna love it." So I think it was for my daughter, but kind of for me too. This next one was a gift by my sister-in-law, and it is Homeschooling the Early Years. Homeschooling the Early Years. Because she knows that I plan on homeschooling my daughter June. Anytime I see homeschooling books, I honestly pick them up because I just feel like in the day and age of technology, lots of people have, you know, different opinions, different curriculums they want to focus on. But I just really find so much pleasure in reading information. And I'd love to see what people did back then, even if back then is 30 years ago, you know? My next category is going to be books that I got on a recent trip that me and my husband went on. We recently took a trip to Fredericksburg, Texas, and that is, I believe, north of San Antonio. And it was so nice, guys. It was the perfect fall trip. We stayed in an Airbnb on a farm where there's a pumpkin patch. Fredericksburg, Texas is this cute little town where there's just lots of shops, and they have this new bookstore there, so we stopped by there. The first book that I got was The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. One thing you guys will learn about me is that my classics want to read / buy books list is never ending. It truly is. And while we were headed to Fredericksburg, we stopped actually in Austin, Texas, where we went to the bookstore Book People. And if you guys watch BookTube, then you know of Haley Pham, and I love watching her videos, so I always see her and a couple of other booktubers go to Book People. I really wanted to stop by, and it was really, honestly, worth the hype. Such a cute bookstore. The coffee shop in there is so nice, really good compared to other book cafes that I've tried, so that's where I got this one. A couple of books in this haul I've already read, and I'll say which one. Maybe in a future video in 2026 I'll talk about my favorites and my not so favorites. A little hint for you. Anyways, okay, next book I got at Book People was Cover Story by Vari McFarlane. This is another book that I've already read. I actually read 2 other books by her. I really like her writing. She's also a No Spice author. I only read No Spice authors, so Office Rivals, Enemies to Lovers, but with a twist of mystery. And that's all I'll say on that one. I did read that one. Okay, and then this book we got at Fredericksburg, Texas. Those 2 were in Austin, Texas. This one was actually in Fredericksburg, and it is Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True. I have one other book by her. It is, oh gosh, I'm forgetting, but I'll put a picture up here. I have another book by her, but my sisters are borrowing it. I actually have to get it back. They did not read it. They just kept it they checked it out. They borrowed it for a little too long. I really wanted a new thriller in my library, so I opted for this one. Let me know if this is a book you guys think I will like. I don't like really dark themes. You know, I can handle a little bit because I know this world is evil. Evil things happen, but I do put books down once it crosses a line. So let me know if this one's a good one. From what I know, it kind of sounds like a stalker story, so I think I can handle a stalker story. And then the next 2 books I'll just do together. These ones I actually got at the library in Fredericksburg. You can see, because outside of this gorgeous library, by the way, there was like boxes of books and it said free books. So I was like, free books? I'm there. I'm so there. So I decided to get this. Contains a variety of critical articles that analyze important literary works within a given genre or historical era. I picked up English Romanticism because I'm a big fan of specifically English classic literature and romance. So I picked that one up, and then I also picked up Satire. Tells you what it contains. In the back it contains fairy tales, fantasy, postmodernism, and science fiction. Plus it looks like they also have a horror section in here. I won't read that section, but I thought this was really cool. I do want to start collecting intellectually driven books for my daughter because I plan on homeschooling her. I want to have a good collection of books that we can kind of pick up and be like, hey, let's read this book and talk about it. I think that's what I'm going to try and aim for when I do homeschool her. So, and then guys, I messed up. I forgot a gift. My sister-in-law was showing me a book and I liked it so much. I think she just let me have it. So thank you, Lexi. It's a textbook, essentially. The Oxford History of Christian Worship. I'm so excited about this. Like I just said, I really want to have a good collection. Books to reference when I'm teaching my daughter, and I just love textbook books. I don't know what it is. Will I ever read the whole thing? Probably not, but I just love having information at my fingertips. I really feel like we're gonna get to a point where they start deleting stuff in history, and they've already done it. Different civilizations have done it. Who's to say they're not already starting? And maybe in another video, I'll show you guys my other Christian textbooks. I have 3 others, and books on theology. Well, maybe 4 if you count one of the big books I have, but I love it. Anyways, okay, now we can move on. Next category is books that I thrifted or books that I got at estate sale. Okay, so this first one is my most recent most recent, I'm talking about like last week, I think I got this. And that is Lady Clementine by Marie Benedict. I have one other book by this author. I've yet to read her. This book follows Clementine Churchill, the wife of Winston Churchill. This one I found at a garage sale. Sorry, I'm just all over the place. I found this one at a garage sale in my neighborhood, actually. I'm really excited to read this one eventually. I've always been interested in Winston Churchill, so the fact that there's a book about his wife, I'm really excited. And this is the kind of historical fiction that I will eat up. I will eat it up, okay? This next one I found at an estate sale. None other than Kristin Hannah. Everybody raves about Kristin Hannah, and as a historical fiction lover, the fact that I haven't read her yet, I just know, like, all the angels in heaven are reading for me. No. The type of reader that I am, and I have not read Kristin Hannah, is honestly should be a crime. I've heard lots of people rate this a 6-star book. So let me know if I should start with this Kristin Hannah book or not. Something you guys should know about me is that I'm a bit of a crybaby. So I like to stay away from sad things, and I know that this is a sad book. I just know it is from the reviews that I've seen. So am I quite literally hurting myself emotionally if I read this book? So please let me know. Please let me know. And the last 2 books I will talk about in this category, I also got at an estate sale. These 2 books I got together. So first one is Great Battles of All Time by, it says, Jeremy Black. Found this at an estate sale. I found somebody's grandpa's history collection, and I was there. I was really interested in this book because it looks like this specific book goes over a good variety of battles, but in a short, almost like a short form content, if short form was a book. Let me see if I can show you. It'll go over wars and be kind of straightforward. If you can see, this much is that war I just showed you, and it keeps doing that. It goes to another war. So I really like that format. I feel like I'm, again, wanting to expand my education and knowledge on things. Something that I can't run away from in history when I look into it is wars. There is no shortage of wars to learn about. And this next one is the Catechisms of the Catholic Church. I take the verse in Peter seriously when he says, "Be ready with an answer for your faith." So I am also really interested in Christian apologetics. On my free time, we'll learn about other religions, maybe popular arguments against Christianity from the perspective of other religions. I love that stuff. And so I figured I'd pick up the Catechisms of the Catholic Church. I'm not Catholic. My family has Catholic roots. I know a few things that are already in here, but I want to read them, study them, compare it to scripture. I am Sola Scriptura, and again, use it for knowledge, information. All right, and this next category is used bookstores. Ones I got at used bookstores. I only have 2, and this one is a great segue from the other book because these 2 are also books I got for apologetic reasons. First one up is the Quran. Not the edition I would have picked because I do not see the Quran as holy. However, it was the best edition that they had at the store, so again, like I said before, I treat it like a fantasy book. Same reason as the last book, to highlight, read, know what is exactly in the text, but learning about what exactly does their book say, and using that to strengthen my position. And then the last one is the Talmud. And I got the Penguins Classic, which I'm really excited about because I just always thought they looked so good on the bookshelves of the Talmud. This one says a selection of the Talmud, so it probably won't be the full Talmud, which is a bummer. But I will use it to the best of my abilities. Oh my gosh, guys. I found this bookmark in it through verse of Isaiah 53. That is awesome. I'm guessing a Messianic Jew owned this before. And then it has another side with Proverbs 30. That is so sweet. Okay, this last category is going to be also books I got at a yard sale, but this is mom edition. Mom edition. I went to this yard sale and I ran into this sweet mom who homeschooled all of her children. And she was so sweet and so helpful. She showed me all of her books that she had, and she told me exactly what helped her when she was homeschooling her children. So I took her advice. You best believe I took her advice. Somebody exactly like me, she was a Christian too, so basically everything she recommended, I was like,
take my money.
So first up, I'm going to show you 4 books because they're all essentially the same thing. The Wise collection of books. So let me see if you can see that.
Stop.
Baby Wise Part 1, Baby Wise Part 2, Child Wise, Preschool Wise. I've heard great things about this book. Whenever I was working at a Christian bookstore, we did have quite a bit of these as well, or at least a few. So I was always interested. And the fact that I got all of these 3, goodness guys, I left that yard sale with a whole giant tote bag. It was like one of those big reusable ones. A giant tote bag full of books, full of homeschooling resources, lessons. I had flashcards, anything you can think of. I had this whole felt collection, all for $20. That's a deal. That's a deal. She was so sweet to me too. I'm definitely missing some books because I got more at this garage sale, because these 2 books are actually books I got on my own. I'm definitely missing some, but they're probably children's books, so we will continue on. Okay, and the last 2 books in this haul, my goodness, you guys should see the mess around me, is What to Read and When by Pam Allen. The books and stories to read with your child and all the best times to read them. I'm really excited about this. I honestly should start this soon because my daughter's about to be 1. That was so crazy to say out loud. And the next book I got is The Read Out Loud Handbook by Jim Trelease. Same thing as the other one. Talks about, the benefit of reading to your children. This one's really cool though because it says it includes a giant treasury of great read out loud books. Which, again, guys, I am not one who will not take advice. I will take the advice. I will read, I will research, and I will look into it. I want to see what works. If something is known for how working, I will check it out. Of course, I still do my research. As a Christian mom, I need to do that because the Bible talks about us as parents protecting our children's innocence. So I take that very seriously. I want to make sure I am not hurting my child's development by showing her something too early. And it doesn't have to be an extreme example. Even things that could confuse her, you know? I want to be a good steward of what she's learning, what she's digesting. I don't know if you guys just heard that. That was not thunder. That was an airplane, I believe. Is all the books I have to show you guys. Please let me know if any of them caught your attention or you've read any of them. Please let me know what you thought. And yeah, and if you saw any book that I showed you here and you know something similar to that, or you have a recommendation for me based off of the books I showed you, please let me know. I love hearing book reviews, anything, any recommendation that you guys have, would love to hear it. Thank you guys again for clicking on this video and watching it. I am but a humble mom trying to make videos while my daughter is napping. So I had to get this one out quick, guys. I had to do it quick. Okay, so I just did the math. It looks like we have 27 books here if you count the singles of the Boxcar Children. Am I saying that right? If you made it to the end of this video, tell me what your favorite book I showed you was, and then I'll know. Be like our own little club, okay? All right, I gotta go and get other stuff done. I will see you guys in the next video. Also, hint, we're gonna be doing a little arts and crafts and Christmas stuff. I'm so excited. Okay. The Boxcar Children. Boxcar. By Gertrude Chandler Warner. I just realized I didn't say her name.